Welcome, everybody, to the Chris Parrish Podcast, episode 113, Puncher's Chance. That's right. My name is Chris Parrish, and I just want to welcome everyone here to another great episode of the Chris Parrish Podcast. By the way, do you like the new logo? It is fresh. It is on the press. It is available. But we'll get to that later. Also, just want to say thank you to Accidental Existence for hopping in on the kick side. Thanks for joining. Appreciate it. We are here to talk about a lot of things, especially last night's Saturday night main event, and to preview next week's Royal Rumble. But first, we know the drill, but we're going to switch it up a little bit. So instead of me letting you know who helped us get here, let's jump right into it and let's talk Saturday night's main event, shall we? Because we saw, I thought, a very good show, and it's almost like a third television show. I know sometimes it feels like it's just another little mini PLE, but it's really just another good show that combines the action of both Raw and SmackDown. And we saw what we saw, right? Like, we saw Cody Rhodes go up against Jacob Fatu in what we thought was going to be just this banging all-out brawl. And that's, more or less what we got. But I don't think what we expected was Drew McIntyre to come in and just kind of rough everyone up a little bit and kind of make his presence felt, so the match never really got going. And I kind of like that in the sense where we didn't see we didn't see Cody Rhodes and or Jacob Fatu suffer a loss in a match where we really didn't need them to take a loss, right? This is a match where, yes, we're 7 days out from the Royal Rumble, where you want all the momentum that you possibly can have. So this is a dangerous spot because you can take a setback with a loss, or you can get motivated by a loss. It really depends on the individual, but we know Jacob Fatu is back. This was his first quote unquote match since he returned. Cody Rhodes is fresh off from losing the title to Drew McIntyre in 3 stages of hell. So we really had to ask, what was the big picture going into this match? And it was Drew McIntyre ensuring that there was no winner. Although we did see Jacob Fatu kind of take it to Cody Rhodes quite a lot in that match. But ultimately, the statement from Drew McIntyre was made that if you're coming around and you're sniffing around his WWE Universal Championship, that is what's going to happen. We have Chris Best coming in the chat saying, howdy, Mr. Parrish, saying, I love the brawl between Fatu and Cody. I kind of think it was a future triple threat match in the title. And maybe it very well could be. We know that it's not going to be at the Royal Rumble, and we'll talk about that in just a second, because we did see the women's tag team championships on the line, as we saw Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeat the team of Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez in what I thought was the match of the night. Now, a lot of people are going to argue me with that one, but I think I am keeping my head level and not getting the nostalgia and not getting the emotional part set in on that. But at the same time, it's wrestling. You get to like what you want. You get to dislike what you want. It's a subjective conversation and subjective opinion. I love this match for the sole purpose that I thought getting Bo Stephanie back here and Raquel Rodriguez involved was a great thing. We're used to interference with the Judgment Day. That's all well and good. It's kind of a letdown if it doesn't happen, right? Like, championships are on the line. We kind of want to see some interference, but at the same time, I thought the creativity was just bang on in this. Just when we thought Rhea Ripley and Io Sky had the match won, Rhea Ripley is watching the ref count 1, 2, 3. Raquel Rodriguez pops up, pulls Rhea Ripley down behind the referee, so the referee doesn't see the physicality that was just made that could cause a disqualification. But then she falls right on the official, negating the pinfall and then taking out the official for a moment so Raquel could get physical with both members, Io and Rhea, as she powerbombs Io on the outside and then also throws Rhea Ripley into the barricade. So we had, I thought, just a fantastic tag match that really is another stepping stone to just how important these women tag team championships are now in the grand scheme. And I truly believe they're going to get a high profile match at WrestleMania because of the investment that they're putting in ever since I'll even go back to the end of October. So, this is just, in my eyes, something that you want to watch. And with Friday, when we saw Julia and Kiana James become number one contenders, they now challenge Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for those tag team titles. So who knows when that's going to be? Is it going to be an episode of SmackDown, or is it going to be maybe they'll wait a little bit and go at Elimination Chamber? I don't know. We do have Peppermint Queen coming in saying, I caught it on time. Hi, Parrish. How's it going? Hope your day is going well. Just reviewing a little bit Saturday night's main event, as we just talked about the women's tag team title match, my personal match of the night. And that leads us to a very emotional match. That was AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, something made official just on Friday. That's right. Nick Aldis invited AJ Styles over to SmackDown, and Shinsuke Nakamura took the opportunity to challenge AJ Styles for Saturday night's main event, and they did everything you wish they did at WrestleMania. You gave a very good throwback to your New Japan Pro Wrestling match that everyone raves about, probably still their best match of their entire series between the two of them. They did the callbacks to the entrance. The outfits were exactly similar. I believe AJ Styles wore the same mask he did at that New Japan show. And it was a changing of the guard in New Japan where we saw AJ Styles leave New Japan. And then now it's been very much rumored that AJ Styles is going to retire at the Royal Rumble against Gunther. So this is why Shinsuke Nakamura wanted that opportunity and decided to act fast, and good on him. I thought this was a fantastic match, but I don't want to throw a heavy cloud on this because I don't think that's fair to the performance that they did. But what I will say is it's another one of those nostalgic matches and not something that was completely pure, because that match obviously wouldn't be what it was without the throwback. So if you didn't get their prior match at Wrestle Kingdom, you wouldn't understand what they were doing today. And some people still don't. I read the internet, and a lot of people were questioning why they did some things, and just because they never saw the Wrestle Kingdom match, which I think is fair. I'm not saying it's a bad match in any way, but I do love the creativity and the organicness of what the women's tag team match provided over this. Plus, let's be fair. I'll be the first person to say, if this is a sense of doing it for the last time, which the commentators did say, and Royal Rumble is AJ Styles' last match, I don't think I'm emotionally available to accept that yet. Therefore, I don't want to look at AJ Styles' match last night in a form that I was watching some of John Cena matches. I just think that's cheating not only myself and my opinion, but also how I'm able to provide it on this show. Yet I'm giving you guys the honest opinion about how I viewed it. I do think AJ Styles and what he's able to do at his age and just in this time, if he does say goodbye at the Royal Rumble, the one thing he's definitely doing is showing you that he's going out still doing everything at a high level. And then what this match was able to showcase is Shinsuke Nakamura is still capable of having these kinds of matches with the top end superstars. And I still believe there is still something left in Shinsuke Nakamura where we can just write him off as a background character or a second or third wheel in the puzzle. I still think there's something to do with it, Shinsuke Nakamura, and I think you just have to find that right thing. But yeah, and to kind of answer that question there, Peppermint, about the contract being up in August, there's a lot of speculation about when his contract is up. There's been speculation that it's done at the end of January, based on when he signed with the company. It was 10 years ago at the Royal Rumble, which is in January. So there's a lot of weird speculations there. Over time, you have to wonder if injury time has been added, so you got a little bit of extra time with the superstar. I know people like Rey Mysterio had that. I know the infamous Rey Fenix story was like that, and that's why it took him longer to leave AEW for WWE. So that's always something that comes into play with a lot. So I don't know. I've heard a lot of mixed reports, but I know, as per Shinsuke Nakamura's Instagram, he did put out a story confirming that AJ Styles was retiring at the Rumble. That post has since been deleted and hasn't even been around for over a day. So I don't know if this is going to lead to confusion, if he wasn't supposed to say what he said, or if by chance it's now inaccurate. There is no way of knowing right now on my end. So all I can say is I'm just going to personally enjoy every second I get with AJ Styles on my screen, because there are still matches I would love to see him with. CM Punk and AJ Styles have yet to face off on television in WWE. And a lot of people don't realize or don't know, but they were the finals of the very first Ring of Honor Pure Championship match. And they went through 3 matches just to get to, or 2 matches just to get there, had that third match, and really had this amazing match to determine your first ever Pure Champion, which I believe was won by AJ Styles. And to me, like, I'll remember that match for a while, but it was over 20 years ago. And I would love to see AJ Styles and CM Punk in their time to just have at least one match. I think a lot of people would like Finn Balor and AJ Styles to run it back one last time. I think there's just a lot of people left, but I think that's pro wrestling in a nutshell. You always leave the people wanting more, and I can come to accept that end of the deal. But when we kind of hear about AJ Styles and him using 2026 as his last year of wrestling, I don't think a lot of us expected it to be 1 month in and then over. So I think that's kind of been the way we look at it, or at least the way I'm looking at it, that, oh, you said it was your last year and then you're giving us only 31 days? It's a little unfair, no? But nonetheless, AJ Styles did pick up the win against Shinsuke Nakamura. And the match was good. It would have been my 1B if I had 1A and 1B. It's my number 2 match of the night. Simply because I just respect a lot with what they accomplished in the women's tag team title match. And that provided us into the main event, where we saw a fatal 4-way for the number 1 contendership of Drew McIntyre's Undisputed Championship. The winner faces Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble this Saturday. And it featured Trick Williams, Randy Orton, Damian Priest, and the hometown boy, Sami Zayn. That's right. Live from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Saturday night's main event had a main event with Sami Zayn the ultimate underdog from Montreal, who ended up picking up the win as he delivered a haluva kick to Damian Priest and got the 1-2-3 with Randy Orton just so close from breaking up the pin. And I loved it. I'm very happy that Trick Williams was not a factor in the decision, even though he was the only heel in this match. I thought it was a great way to keep him strong and to keep him unharmed, we'll say, from everything. He can now come out of this and say, well, I was a number one contender, but I didn't lose. Damian Priest lost. And it's just ironic because they just had a match on Friday, but it's one of those things where you can keep it moving. Now, maybe Trick Williams can run it back with Damian Priest. They can have one more match. Maybe Trick Williams gets the win here. Or maybe, just maybe, because of what they teased from, I think, Trick Williams' second night on SmackDown, can have a one-on-one match with Randy Orton, who Peppermint saying she was low-key rooting for, but it's low-key, so let's just keep it that way. So all in all, we got our Saturday night's main event. Yes, 4 matches. It's still about around a 2-hour television broadcast, and I know it's for a lot of international people, it's on YouTube. So you're wondering, why is there a time limit? Well, it's because it's still on television network in the United States, and because of that, we get a time limit on the broadcast. So, and all in all, anybody, like, just letting everyone know or asking everyone, what were your thoughts of Saturday night's main event? Does Saturday night main event actually hold true to the nostalgia that it used to? Does it still provide you with something that you're happy about? Simply isn't necessary. Do you like Saturday night's main event as a whole? Let me know in the comments, as I am going to let everyone know that if you don't enjoy Saturday night's main event, or you do, you think it's short, but you want some more content to look at, well, guess what? At the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, we provide you a week amount of content. That's right. WEEK. Week, 7 days. Every day over at Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, we have a show for you. But don't let me just talk about it. Take this opportunity to see for yourself.
Turnbuckle Studios and the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program bring you the week of streams. All times are in Eastern Time. Monday nights you get the Locker Room Breakdown at 7 p.m., followed by the Raw Patrol at 8 p.m. Tuesday brings you the flagship show, Turnbuckle Talk, at 8:05 p.m. Wednesday we play games with the PlayStation Showcase at 8 p.m. Thursday we go TNA as we brace for Impact at 9 p.m. On Fridays, join us for the SmackDown Security Detail at 8 p.m. The weekend brings you Saturday Night Gaming at 8 p.m. On Sunday be sure to catch the Chris Parrish podcast at 12:15 p.m. And later that night we have the Boar's List at 9 p.m. Be part of the shows and join the chat every day. And please visit turnbucklestudios.org.
That's right, everybody. If you saw what we just saw at the end of there, turnbucklestudios.org is the official homepage of Turnbuckle Studios. That's right. If you ever wanted to tap in and become a new member of the Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, all you have to do is hit the join button. That's right there. That's right. We do ask you to fill out a form. Why? Because conversations need information, and we need information to learn about you, just like you get to learn about us if you want to go and meet the team. But if you want to become a member of our team, we gotta know some things, right? That's just the way it goes. So head over to turnbucklestudios.org. Why? Because there is so many things you can do on that. As well as going to our amazing online store, but I will talk about that later. because we still got a Royal Rumble. After all, this show is called Puncher's Chance, and we did watch the man who never stops punching, Sami Zayn, scratch and claw and throw in order to become number one contender, and he gets to go to his home away from home in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and challenge Drew McIntyre, the man who he's never beat. In fact, he's 11-0 against, in the fact that he is, 0-11. He is 0-11. Drew's 11-0 on Sami. So he gets that puncher chance to become, for the first time in his life, a world champion. But we also have the Royal Rumble match, both for the men and women. We have half of the match already filled out on the women's, only about 8 so for the men's. So still room for more people to declare themselves for this match, or even those good old surprises, whether it's returns, debuts, or even NXT call-ups, or just one-time deals. Those are very much going to happen. The one and only other match that we do know is AJ Styles versus Gunther, with AJ Styles' career on the line. But I think we've talked a lot about AJ Styles and his career. And as I said earlier, I don't want to talk about him retiring. I'm just not emotionally ready to talk about it, people. If that's not me being honest, I don't know what is. Not to mention the Royal Rumble. Who doesn't want to talk about 30 men, 30 women beating each other up, throwing them over the top rope, both feet hitting the floor after every, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, 2 minutes, who knows? They are always changing the time, but those are the intervals between entrance, with the exception of 1 and 2. They start the match. Which, by the way, I never understood why everyone says, oh my God, you're number 1. You last the longest in the match, but if you're number 2 and you win, you still do the same amount of time. It's very weird, but it is what it is. Anyway, I do believe that the men's Royal Rumble match is going to have a little bit more high-end drama to it. We will still get more of those good, quick surprises for the women. I do believe Liv Morgan is going to win the women's Royal Rumble. Let me know in the comments who you have, why you want to see them, and let's have some fun. Who do we see as a surprise, or a return, or a debut for the women? I know there's a lot of speculation about who could be joining on the men's side, or who could be signing with the company, but let's talk a little bit about the women here. Do we see Sol Ruca and Zarya go into the Rumble? Do we see any members from TNA join? As we've seen Jordynne Grace and we've seen Mickie James in the past don the TNA Knockouts Championship in the match. Do we get a Li Yang, the current TNA Knockouts champion, in the Royal Rumble? Do we see maybe a Tessa Blanchard? Do we see anyone else make their appearance from TNA? Do we see maybe a JC Jane, the current NXT Women's Champion? Or do we see any members of Fatal Influence, Fallon Henley? Do we see maybe a Tatum Paxley? I think there's a lot of a curiosity among this one. We do have 15 spots left to be decided. So it's very much a tight area to go from. I think we're probably going to get maybe 3 to 5 at the most in terms of non-Raw and SmackDown spots in this match, because when you really think about it, the roster alone for the women is just amazingly big. They have so many talented women that could be in there. They don't even have to go to TNA, or they have to go to NXT, but I'm sure you will see some. So, if I'm going to put in one return, I think I'm going to go with Saraya, aka Paige. I think this is one that very much could be a possibility. I think when I'm looking at just the pops that the Saudi Arabia crowd would go for, I think Paige would definitely be one of them. If I'm gonna go with anybody joining the company and doing something like that, I think, and I don't know the contract status, but Anna Jay, sorry, from AEW, who's been rumored to leave the company, that very well could be a possibility, but I just don't know if the Royal Rumble is the stage to do it. And I'm trying to think if there's maybe anybody, like the only possible injured woman I think that could make her return to the Royal Rumble would be Bianca Belair. I think that's the only injured woman on the roster who I think will be there. So I do think the majority of these 15 spots, I'm going to say at least 9 or maybe even 10 of them would be just still Raw and SmackDown women that have just yet to be announced. But now I'm very intrigued with the Royal Rumble. Obviously, you just never know. You just never know who it's going to be. You never know who it's not going to be. I just love that aspect of this match, and it's probably why it's one of my favorite PLEs, and it's probably why I've gone to 2 of them, simply because I love the countdown. Oh my God, who's it going to be? Oh my God, it's this person. Can you believe it? It's one of those things that bring out the fun aspect of everything. So yeah, I mean, I think I have Liv Morgan in there. Zoe Stark is a strong possibility too. Yeah, I mean, the question is she ready? Like, is she cleared? And that's what I don't know. I do know that she is training. She has shown videos of her training, but I'm not too sure if she's medically cleared. But if she is, that would be a great addition too. And you know what? I'll even go as far as saying I would even wouldn't be upset if Zoe Stark does come back and you want to go completely different in the Rumble. I wouldn't hate it if she is in like the final 4. Comes back at like a number 4, number 5, and just really has this performance of a lifetime. I would absolutely love that. But if I'm going to go with a strong... Actually, I'll go with my final 4 here. Let's have some fun. Let's as a collective think of what our final 4 for the women's Royal Rumble would be. I think I'm going to go with Liv Morgan. I'm going to go with Lyra Valkyria. I think over on SmackDown, I do think we're going to have somebody there. I'll go Julia just to give it a little bit of unknown. Not unknown, but I don't think a lot of people expect Julia to go far. And then for a number 4, I would love to see Chelsea Green as that final 4. And then I know for a fact I'm getting someone who has never won it. I'm getting somebody new, but I also have someone established and Liv, somebody up and coming in Lyra, and somebody that I know the company wants to see their full potential shine through in Julia. And then we all know just how good Chelsea Green is. And then obviously you have that built-in story with Lyra and Liv a little bit. You have that built-in story with Julia and Chelsea Green. An interaction between Liv and Chelsea would be fantastic. So I think that would be a lot of fun. And then maybe put Lyra and Julia, give them a little bit of an in-ring segment. That would be a lot of fun to watch too. And then we flip over the men's. And there's just so much there. As I said, 8 men have declared. 8. That means there's still 22 unnamed. That is crazy. We are less than a week away. We are 6 days away from the Royal Rumble. We still have 22 spots to be determined. Now, I'm sure tomorrow on Raw and Friday on SmackDown, we're going to find out a few. I'm sure there's going to be some people declaring over social media, whether it's shorts, whether it's quick clips, or whether it's posts. But then you look at that, who's been rumored to be in WWE, whether it's guys like Chris Jericho. Powerhouse Hobbs is now officially signed with WWE. Is this where he makes his debut? We've heard Evil from New Japan Pro Wrestling could very well be WWE. Do we think this is where he could show up? If that's possible. We know there's a lot of men scheduled to return, one being the megastar LA Knight. We know Chad Gable is very heavily featured and coming back. So I think the question remains is, who is going to be the big surprise in this match? There is no way in my eyes this match is going to happen without a holy you-know-what moment in this match. And I don't know if that's going to be an elimination. I don't know if that's going to be a return, a debut, or just a square off. Like, imagine if we get Obafemi and Brock Lesnar squaring off, or we get Gunther and Brock Lesnar, or, or Gunther and Dragunov. Like, it's, to me, I think there's a lot of oh my God kind of moments that we could get out of this match, that I think that's where I said earlier the drama is going to really kick in. I think we're going to get a lot of that high end kind of drama built in. And that's, in all honesty, what I do love about a good Rumble match. I'm still debating on who I have winning this match. I do kind of like what they're doing with Gunther, but I have a hard time seeing Gunther win now that he has a scheduled match against AJ Styles that same night. I know it's very easy to say, well, what happens if he beats AJ Styles and continue his path and wins? He becomes more dominant. And I don't disagree, but I do think you're running the risk of a little too much of one person one night, and then encounter he also loses to AJ Styles. Does he come back and win that match, or lose and he loses two matches in one day? I don't like that either. So to me, it's a very slippery slope, and you have to make sure you do the right thing, because Gunther right now, in my eyes, is one of those, you can't mess him up. Yeah, I mean, after Sami Zayn lost the United States title, I kind of lost my thought that Sami was going to win. As Chris Best is saying, that his initial pick was Sami, but now that he's taken on Drew, he's got to rethink his pick. I do feel like they're probably going to go with an obvious one. I know Roman Reigns is the odds-on favorite to win. I don't know if I want to see Roman Reigns win this match. But at the same time, you got to look at what you want for a title picture at WrestleMania, right? I think with everything going on SmackDown, I think you can have your built-in pick for Drew right now. And that's if Drew McIntyre does hold a title to WrestleMania. So let's make this play and assume that both champions of right now, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, are your champions going into WrestleMania. I don't think you need a Royal Rumble winner for Drew McIntyre. I do think whoever wins the Royal Rumble is taking on CM Punk. So with that being kind of a thing. Maybe Roman Reigns is that pick. There is that history there between CM Punk and Roman Reigns that is just, it hasn't fully been told, but it's been very heavily teased and kind of nudged to about, but never really given that time of day to really deep down divulge into. So there's that. We also remember that there is a segment between Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns, and CM Punk where Cody and CM Punk were champions. And Roman Reigns told them both, are you going to take it out and compare? Or what are we doing here? And then he kind of brushed it off like maybe he wants the title Cody has back because Cody was the one who beat Roman. But then it also left a sour taste in CM Punk's mouth because it made CM Punk look like a secondary champion in Roman Reigns' mind. And we know that CM Punk doesn't like that feeling of being second best or second rated. So he might take exception to that. So yeah, there's a lot. I think with the star power in this match, you have to go high-end star power as a final four. So I'm going to go with Cody. I'm going to go with Roman. I'll go with Braun Breaker. And then Randy Orton as my final four. And then I'll go with Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble for 2026. Because we still have money in the bank if you want to take that opportunity and put somebody up in that way. Low key, though, in the words of Peppermint, low key. Gotta speak very softly because it's low key. But if I was to put out a dark horse, I think LA Knight winning might be the one that nobody sees coming and nobody's going to complain about. At the end of the day, we got to remember, with all this star power that they have in this one, they had last year, and Jey Uso won. Nobody saw Jey Uso winning last year. Maybe nobody sees LA Knight winning this year. So WWE, you fooled me once. I see what you're doing. So all in all, that's kind of like my thoughts on the Royal Rumble. I also do think I'm going to go with Gunther defeating AJ Styles. I'm just hoping he doesn't. And then as far as the championship match, I do not see Sami Zayn winning. In fact, because Drew McIntyre got involved in Cody Rhodes' match, I think Cody Rhodes accidentally cost Sami Zayn a chance to become champion. I think it develops a very intriguing storyline. But earlier I did say that on turnbucklestudios.org, you can do so many things. Checking out our beautiful mobile website. Yeah, that's right. Makes no sense because most websites on the internet are mobile. But you also have an opportunity to tap in and join our team. So I'm going to give you a couple of advertisements to showcase just a little bit more about that. So they're about half a minute each long, so it's about another minute. So if you need a chance to go to the bathroom, or you need a chance to refill your drink, or by chance you really want to know what we have on our shop, how to go about it, how to access it, and just a little bit more about how to join us and tap in, check these two videos out.
A Turnbuckle affiliation program is looking for more people. If you have passion level for pro wrestling, sports, video games, or something else, then Turnbuckle Studios is the place to be. If you have ever wanted to pursue content creation and want to join our team, then we would love to have you. Check out turnbucklestudios.org or contact us by email today because your future is now, and we want you to tap in.
The Turnbuckle Studios store is open for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the merch and represent the best from the shows you watch on a weekly basis. Multiple styles to choose from with over 10 products available. Don't get left out and pick up all your favorites today. Find us at turnbucklestudios.org.
That's right, everyone. Those are both amazing opportunities to go and check out. I know if if you want to maybe replace an old Chris Parrish podcast hoodie with one of those beautiful new logos, that's the place to do it. They're already up. So that's right. The new logo for this show is already up on the Redbubble. You might want to get some. That logo looks pretty damn good, if you ask me. So we're going to see that bad boy for a while. I'm also going to guarantee you, I told you guys at the beginning of the year and even at the end of 2025 that there were some things of change coming to this show. That is just one of them. That's right. We saw the Chris Parrish podcast logo change. We even saw the thumbnail change. We might even get a change in this overall layout. In fact, there's been a little small details on this layout already that have changed. So I'm going to do that. If you guys have any advice or any critiques about that, let me know. I am open to hear what your guys and girls thoughts are about the changes that I'm making. I look forward to listening and hearing all of them out. But those are just small little details. And plus, also, if you want to help me do that, you might as well tap into the Turnbuckle affiliation program by hitting turnbucklestudios.org/join, or even just going to turnbucklestudios.org itself and hitting the join button. It's that easy to tap in. All you have to do is click, and all you have to do is tap in. Just that simple, man. I do want to take this time to say thank you to not only Turnbuckle Studios and Turnbuckle Affiliation Program, as they are obviously more a part of the Turnbuckle Studios family through the bigger team picture of Turnbuckle Affiliation Program. But I also want to give a big shout out to the official sponsor of the Chris Parrish podcast, and that is Beercade YEG, the official home of all your pay-per-view and PLE needs, whether it's WWE or AEW. They do partner with the Pint on White over in Edmonton, Alberta on White Ave. Beercade itself is 10544 82nd Avenue. And if you want to watch perhaps the Royal Rumble, well, stay tuned to Beercade YEG and all their socials, because they're going to have a lot more information about that. The reason why I say they partner with the Pint on White is because Beercade does have a later official open time, and sometimes with earlier PLEs like the Royal Rumble, they might not be able to open up that early, so they have partnered up with the Pint on White to showcase these when that is the situation. So I know there's going to be an official statement soon, so let me be the first one to tell you, you got to check out their socials for all the information. Check out my socials, because I will make sure to let every one of you know that if you live in the Edmonton area, or you're going to be around the Edmonton area and you want to check out the Royal Rumble and you want to know where I might be and you just want to hang out, you might want to just count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nikki Bella. I'm just kidding. But if you want to find out where I'll be doing that, check my socials. I'll definitely keep you updated and posted as soon as that has been decided. I do want to take this time to let everybody know that in just a few weeks, I'm going to slim down the Chris Parrish podcast. That's right. We see so many platforms being showcased, and that's all fun and nice, but I'm going to be slimming down a little bit of that. on the live performance of sides. So moving forward, I will no longer be showing this on Instagram as a live show. If you do want to watch the Chris Bears podcast on Instagram, I'm looking into possible upload ways to do it. And then also, I will be no longer going live on the Turnbuckle Studios YouTube, but I will also be uploading that to the YouTube as well. So just a couple of programming notes in the upcoming future. I want to be just true with everyone and being honest. So I want to let every one of you know. We do have a great show next week coming in, and that's right. I wanted to showcase that to you. I know it's something you're used to me doing, or maybe it's just an excuse and being, hey, Chris, you said you have a new thumbnail. I came in late. I want to check that out. What does it look like? Well, we do know that I am currently on episode 113 of Puncher's Chance, but next week we are going with episode 114, and the winner is, that's right, come on. If I had a drum roll, that would have been a smart idea to play it right then and now, but you can just do one in your head. But yeah, next week we're going to talk all things Royal Rumble, because how do we not want to just collectively go, oh my God, 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 about the Royal Rumble. If you don't like the Royal Rumble, then maybe you don't want to go as nuts as I do, but I am going to be honest. I cannot wait for Saturday. I believe it is a 1 p.m. Eastern start time, 11 o'clock Alberta time. So understand there is an early start time. We did see that calendar earlier today. The PLE Patrol will be showcasing the Royal Rumble. And if Chris Best is able, in the comments, let me know. Is it a live show? Oh, dear Lord. 11 o'clock. For some people might be early, 1 o'clock. I do believe it is a live show, so you do want to check out the Turnbuckle Studios platforms for the PLE Patrol for the Royal Rumble. Low key, though, let's have some fun. Are there people you don't want to see winning the Royal Rumble matches this year? We all talk about the what we want, but let's... So standard regular time for PLE Patrol is the official announcement. So that is where you can find that for the PLE Patrol next Saturday for the Royal Rumble. And then obviously, if I'm on tune with things, that means Chris Best, your Saturday Night Gaming will be shared earlier and going live earlier in the afternoon as well. So that is just your programming switches from the calendar that you do see. Obviously, those are just a standard weekly deals if there's nothing else going on. But when there's other things going on, that's why we got to let everybody know. So yeah, I asked a question. Do you want to see somebody else not win? And I think for me, I think I just don't. If it was up to me, I want to see somebody who hasn't won one. So if you've won it already, I just don't want to see a win. I like something new. I think we're in that time frame of making new stars and just giving opportunities to someone who hasn't been there. So I would love to see that. I know Liv Morgan, even though she's been around the title picture, has yet to win a Royal Rumble. She's one of two women to have been in every single one. Her and Natalya are the only two who have been in all. I believe this is going to be number 8 on the Royal Rumble for the women's side. So, because Liv is already declared and Natalya as of right now hasn't, I do assume she's going to be added in into that. So we will see that, but I don't want to see like Charlotte win. I don't want to see Asuka win. Bailey, I don't want to see win. although I do love Bailey. She is fantastic. So yeah, and then obviously for the men, as much as I do think Roman's probably going to win, I'd rather not see him win. I don't want to see Seth win. I don't want to see Shinsuke win. You know, the people who have already won them. So it would be, to me, it'd be very much going against what you've been doing as a company. But yeah. So, yeah, let me know in the comments who you maybe don't want to see winning. Yeah, sadly for Peppermint, I don't want to see Jay winning again. Plus, he's won half the tag champions. That would be very confusing. But nonetheless, we are kind of nearing the end of episode 113, Puncher's Chance of the Chris Parrish podcast. If by chance you do want to help out with this channel, please go to my link tree that you see down in the bottom corner, and you can go and you can help like, share, follow, subscribe, all that to all my platforms, whether it's Kick, Instagram, X, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Spotify. Make sure, if you can, go to my Spotify and help rate the shows. Do what you can. I do want to try to get that going. I know on the Twitch side of things, I'm currently at 128 followers. I do want to try to get to 150 if I can by my 40th birthday. So if you want to tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell people who just signed up to go and subscribe to the Chris Parrish podcast and Chris Parrish on Twitch, please do so. We did go recently live on Kick, and we do now have an account on Kick as the Chris Parrish podcast. It is the only account that does not just feature my name. It features the name of the show. So yeah, go there and help and follow the show there if you want. I am going to try to keep a live showing on X and YouTube and Facebook for sure. So look for that as well. And then I'm sure Twitch and Kick are going to be added as well. So those are most likely going to become the new standard of destinations for the show. So just going to let you guys know that. But yep, if you can, Linktree, support, everything's updated. All the new logos on anything too. So please let me know what you guys think of all the changes. If there's stuff you do want to see, I'm open for criticism and critiques. But in the meantime, I will say this. Thank you so much for checking out episode 113 of the Chris Parrish podcast, titled Puncher's Chance, where we talked a lot about the Royal Rumble and Saturday night's main event. Next week, we will talk a little bit more about the winning participants of the Royal Rumble. And we will talk a little bit more about just what the weekend is next week, and talk a little bit about maybe who is there now, who didn't show, who do we want to see, who were we upset that we didn't get to see. All that will be next week. But this has been episode 113. I just want to let everybody know, thank you so much for joining here today. Thank you so much for being involved in the chat. And obviously, I want everyone to be happy and be healthy and be yourself, because at the end of the day, you matter. See you next week, everyone.